Do something selfish. That's what I want you to do by the time we finish this video, by the time I finish sharing a story of a young man who struggled to pay his fees while studying at Stanford. He then met a pianist, a world-famous pianist who did something quite special. Hello and welcome to another edition of Chai with Pi. My name is Prakash Iyer. It's a story that's over 100 years old, and I want to take you back to Stanford University. The year is 1892, and there's a young man studying there, struggling with money. He's an orphan and doesn't have the money to pay his fees and is wondering what he should do. And that's when a friend and he come up with an idea. They decide to host a concert to try and raise money to pay their tuition fees. So what do? They get in touch with Ignacy Paderewski, the most famous pianist in the world at that time. And they tell Paderewski, we'd love you to come and perform here. And the manager says, sure, we could do it, but you'd need to pay a guaranteed fee of $2,000. A deal is struck, and the kids decide to get to work to try and make the concert a success. The big day arrives, Paderewski performs, and at the end of it, the kids figure that they haven't sold as many tickets as they would have liked. And all they have is $1,600. So what they do is they give Paderewski $1,600 and a check for $400 with a promise that as soon as they can find the rest of the money, they will ensure that they honor the check. I will have none of it, says Paderewski. He tears up the check and then he tells those two men, here's the $1,600. What I want you to do is to take away whatever money you spent on making this concert a success, and then take the money that you need to pay your tuition fees, and with the rest, just give it to me. The kids were thrilled. Paderewski clearly was a nice guy, a very special person who decided that he would do whatever it took to help those two people. I think it's fascinating. What is it about some of us that we find it easy to help other people? And why do some of us struggle, right? For many of us, the problem is, Paderewski did it because there was a fee attached. He had made it very clear. He had told them how much money he needed. So why should he give away the money? He could have asked himself the question, what would happen to me if I decided to help them? I would be losing money, which is my own. But here's the difference. People who get it right, people who help other people are not people who wonder, what will happen to me if I help them? They are people who ask the question, what will happen to them if I don't help them? That is a great shift to have inside our heads. Don't worry about what will happen to me if I help them. Worry instead what would happen to them if I didn't help them. And the thing about people who get it right, who help other people, is really this. They don't care who's watching. They don't care what will people say. And they don't do it because they know what it will feel like when people get to know I did it. They do the right thing because they believe in doing the right thing. What a guy Paderewski was. So it's no surprise that Paderewski went on to become the Prime Minister of Poland, a much loved figure at that. But guess what? The war broke out and suddenly there was not enough money to feed the people, and Paderewski was a stressed out Prime Minister. He had over 1 million people starving and he didn't have the money to feed them and he didn't know where to go for help. But he decided to reach out, like everybody in the world does perhaps, but he reached out to the most powerful country in the world at that time, the US, and he said, I need help. He wasn't sure what might happen, but he reached out to the Food Authority in the United States, which at that time was headed by a man who went on to become the American president, Herbert Hoover. So with more hope than anything else, Paderewski wrote a letter to Hoover requesting him for help, saying, I need money, I need food. And guess what? Hoover responded by shipping out the food that would be required to feed 1 million people. Paderewski was delighted. He was so thrilled that his request had been acceded to. He decided to go and meet Hoover to thank him personally for that great gesture. And when he went there finally and reached Hoover, met him and said, "Thank you very much." And Hoover said, "You know what? You shouldn't be saying it. You don't really have to thank me." And Paderewski says, "Why? But you've done so much. You've gone out of your way to help me." And Hoover said, "You may not remember this, Paderewski, but several years ago, you helped 2 kids get through Stanford. I was one of them." Fabulous story, isn't it? Maybe, like I said at the beginning, we should all do something selfish today. You know what it is? Help someone. Help someone else. It's the most selfish thing you can do, because when you help other people, you will start off this huge cycle where other people will start helping you. The world is a great place. All you need to do is to start off by helping other people, and you will suddenly find help coming your way. I don't know who said it, but he was absolutely right when he said, if you want to make your dreams come true, just help a whole lot of other people make their dreams come true. Do it and watch your dream come true. That's all in this week's edition of Chai with Pi. Until next week, enjoy your chai and yes, do something selfish. Help someone today.